They're pushing Pinterest just released their 2026 trend predictions. And I have some thoughts. Look, every year they do this. They look at what millions of people are pinning, crunch the data, and tell you what's going to be hot. And every year, people rush out to buy whatever Pinterest tells them to buy. But here's what nobody's telling you. Some of these trends are genuinely great. And some of them, based on how similar aesthetics have aged in the past, are likely going to make your home look dated in 18 months. The problem? Pinterest doesn't distinguish between the two. They just report what's trending. It's your job to figure out what's actually worth your money and what's a passing moment. That's what we're doing today. I'm going through every single home trend Pinterest is pushing for 2026, and I'm telling you straight up, is it worth it or should you skip it? Some of these are going to surprise you. A few might even piss you off. But by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which trends to embrace and which ones to approach with caution. Stick around until the end because the last trend on this list is the one I'm most excited about. And if this kind of content that helps you make smarter design decisions sounds useful, you know what to do with that subscribe button. Let's get into it. Extra celestial. Let's start with something Pinterest is really pushing. They call it extra celestial. Their exact words, Gen Z and millennials are going intergalactic. Think holographic home accents, opalescent eyeshadow that looks like moon dust, and cosmic silhouettes straight out of a sci-fi movie. The aliens have landed and they have fabulous taste. Do they though? Let's unpack this. What's actually happening here is Y2K futurism coming back around. We saw similar aesthetics in the early 2000s, chrome everything, silver as the dominant metal, arc lamps, sculptural pieces with space-age shapes. And before that, the 1960s had its own space-age design movement, which makes sense given that was when we were actually going to the moon. Design often reflects cultural moments. Now, there are elements here worth paying attention to. The iridescent tile trend, that's genuinely interesting and beautiful. Chrome as a metal choice, it's having a legitimate moment after years of brass dominance. Even IKEA is getting in on the chrome game now. Where I'd be more cautious when every single piece in a space is trying to look like it came from a spaceship. Not everything needs to be shaped like a rocket. Not every surface needs to be mirrored. Not every room needs to feel like you're living on a space station. The pieces that seem most likely to have staying power are the ones that could work in multiple contexts. A beautiful chrome fixture, an iridescent backsplash, rather than furniture that only makes sense in a full sci-fi environment. Verdict: the materials and finishes. Chrome, iridescent, opalescent are worth exploring. The full space station aesthetic is higher risk. Cool blue. Next up, cool blue. This ice blue, powder blue color is showing up everywhere right now. Is it trending? Absolutely. Fashion picked it up first, and now home decor is following. You're seeing it across multiple retailers, in everything from sofas to tiles. Here's my observation though. The way it's often being showcased is monochromatic. Entire rooms drenched in this one powdery blue color. And that approach can be limiting. Blue itself is not a bad color. You can absolutely use this powder blue as part of a larger palette. Pair it with warm tones like orange or yellow, and you've got something interesting with nice contrast. But these fully monochromatic powder blue spaces, they can read a bit one note. It's a heavily tinted color, lots of white added, which gives it that powdery quality that works better as an accent than a whole room commitment. You remember those powder colored plastic crates everyone had in dorms? Powder blue, powder pink, powder yellow? This feels like that same color family, just being applied to more expensive furniture now. And then there's this. Pinterest is showing blue toilets. I'm going to be direct. I don't see the appeal of a statement toilet. Just pick a white toilet, wall hung if possible. The conventional wisdom in design has long been that fixtures like toilets work best in neutral colors because they're expensive to replace and you want flexibility in the rest of your design. A blue toilet locks you into a very specific direction. The color itself isn't the problem. It's the application that matters. Verdict: as an accent color in a broader palette, this works. As a monochromatic scheme or on fixtures, think carefully. Vamp Romantic. Vamp Romantic combines dark academia energy with Victorian Gothic influences and what you might call romance book talk aesthetics. Think lace, heavy velvet, deep plums and burgundies, lots of black ornate furniture, billowy curtains. It's giving Avril Lavigne circa 2004 meets Victorian mansion. Is this a real trend? According to Pinterest's data, yes, the dark, moody, romantic aesthetic has been building momentum for a while now. There's definitely a lineage here. This builds on the dark academia trend that's been growing for several years. Here's my take. If you genuinely love Victorian style and want to go darker and moodier, this can absolutely work. There's something appealing about the richness, the drama, the intentional maximalism that pushes back against the minimalism of the past decade. But, and this is important, it requires commitment. This aesthetic can easily tip into costume territory if it's not fully realized. The versions that work tend to lean into rich jewel tones, plum, burgundy, deep emerald, with careful attention to quality materials and intentional layering. The versions that don't work can feel like you're decorating for Halloween year-round. This isn't for everyone. It's high commitment, high impact design. But if it resonates with you and you're willing to go all in, it can create genuinely dramatic, beautiful spaces. Verdict: know yourself. If you love this aesthetic deeply, it can be stunning. If you're just trend curious, maybe start smaller. Gimme Gummy. Alright, let's talk about this one. Pinterest is calling it Gimme Gummy. And yes, that's the actual name they chose. I didn't make that up. What is it? Think blob furniture? Squishy shapes? Translucent, colorful plastics? Everything looks like it belongs in a candy store or a bouncy castle. Is it a trend? According to Pinterest's data, absolutely. People are pinning this stuff like crazy. Should you do it? I'd be very careful. Here's the thing. I get where this comes from. People are sick of beige. They're tired of the neutral everything aesthetic that dominated the last decade. They want color. They want fun. They want personality, and I respect that impulse. The reaction to sterile minimalism is completely valid, but based on how similar aesthetics have aged, think early 2000s translucent plastics, this particular interpretation could date quickly. Look at some of these pieces. That pink shiny chair, it looks like someone ripped apart those cheap purses from 2003 and turned them into furniture. This is Y2K nostalgia gone wrong. Here's my concern. Many of these pieces prioritize form over function. They're not always ergonomic. They're not necessarily built for everyday use. And when a trend is more about the look than the livability, it tends to have a shorter shelf life. This feels like something a 13-year-old would put in their bedroom. And that's fine for a 13-year-old. But for an adult living space, I'm not convinced. If you want color and fun, there are more grounded ways to do it. We'll get to one soon. Verdict: approach carefully. If you love it, maybe try one accent piece rather than committing fully. Pinterest is calling this Fun House. It's essentially carnival-inspired design, with big, bold stripes and playful, bouncy shapes. Everything looks like it belongs at a fair or circus. I'd urge caution here. I understand the appeal. It's a reaction to all those structured mid-century pieces from the 2010s. People want something more playful, more Memphis-style influenced, more... Does it matter if it's functional because it looks cool and playing with shape, color, and pattern? That's healthy design exploration. But here's my concern. This feels themey. And based on how theme-based design has aged historically, that's a risk. The design world has a term for this. Core styles. Carnival core, goth core, coastal grandmother core, yeehaw core. These aren't traditional design movements with proven longevity. They're social media-driven aesthetics that look great in a 15-second TikTok, but can feel limiting in actual living spaces. Think about it this way. Today's fun house aesthetic could become tomorrow's equivalent of the themed rooms we look back on and cringe at. Beach-themed bathrooms with seashell soap dispensers, wine-themed kitchens with grape borders, Tuscan villa living rooms in suburban Ohio. These were trendy once too. Now they're punchlines. Have fun with color. Have fun with pattern. But I'd be careful about turning your whole home into a theme. When theme-based design dates, it tends to date noticeably. Verdict: if you love it, consider limiting it to one room or specific accents rather than a whole house commitment. Neo Deco. Now this is how you react to boring beige without losing your mind. Pinterest is calling this Neo Deco, a modern interpretation of Art Deco design. And honestly, this one makes a lot of sense. If you're sick of organic modern, if Japandi feels too quiet for you, if you want sophistication without sacrificing personality, this could be the move. What makes it work? It's geometric, it's structured, it's got contrast. You're seeing bronze, brass, marble, interesting wood tones, chrome. Really luxe materials combined in bold, intentional ways. The difference between this and the gummy or funhouse aesthetics we just talked about? This has history. Art Deco has been considered beautiful for almost a century. It's proven itself across multiple design cycles. It's not just a social media moment, it's a legitimate design movement with staying power. Pinterest is reporting that searches for antique bar carts are up 100%. Now, do you need a bar cart? That's debatable. I mean, everyone was drunk in the 1920s, so it made sense then. But the aesthetic behind it, the glamour, the sophistication, the intentional luxury, that's worth paying attention to. This is how you have fun with shape and color without making your home feel like a passing trend. It's bold, but grounded, fun, but sophisticated, masculine, but warm. If you want to move away from neutrals, but you're not ready to commit to blob furniture or carnival stripes, this is your answer. Verdict: yes, this is a solid direction with actual staying power. Afrohemian decor. I saved this one for last because it's the one I'm most genuinely excited about. Afrohemian is a bohemian style with a specific focus on African design influences, and it represents what bohemian should be at its best. Here's the thing about bohemian style that often gets lost. At its best, it's deeply personal. It's eclectic. It's things you've collected from travels, pieces with history and meaning. At its worst, it becomes paint by numbers based on what looks popular on Instagram. Remember around 2018 when boho meant everything beige and sandy brown? Macrame on every wall, same cream color palette in every single apartment? That was Insta-neutral boho, a very specific, somewhat homogenized interpretation that lost the style's original spirit. Bohemian in a broad sense means eclectic by nature. Things you've gathered from overseas on your travels, from different parts of the world. The wood tones don't match because they came from India and Thailand and Morocco and Brazil. The patterns aren't the same because that's the point. This trend feels like a correction. It's putting focus on rich cultural traditions that have been massively underrepresented in mainstream interior design conversations. African design encompasses an incredibly diverse range of aesthetics across a massive continent with centuries of design history. And honestly, it doesn't get talked about nearly enough. The textures, the handcrafted elements, the warmth. This is bohemian that's rooted in something meaningful rather than just a Pinterest aesthetic. What I appreciate about this direction: it acknowledges that design inspiration comes from all corners of the world. Indian design, African design, Southeast Asian design, these traditions deserve more attention in the broader design conversation. Contemporary Indian design, by the way, is another style I think should be having a major moment. Rich burgundies and plums. Really beautiful stuff. If you want a truly personal, eclectic space with cultural depth, this is worth exploring. Verdict: yes, this is bohemian with actual soul and substance. The real deal. So there you have it. Pinterest 2026 trend predictions examined and sorted. What I want you to take away from this: trend reports tell you what's popular, but popularity doesn't automatically mean longevity or that it's right for your space. Here's how I'd break it down. Worth your money. Afrohemian, personal, culturally meaningful, not just a social media moment. Neo Deco, rooted in almost a century of design history. Chrome and iridescent accents, adds variety, use in moderation. Think carefully first. Cool blue, works as accent, not whole room commitment. Vamp romantic, requires full commitment to work. I'd be cautious. Gimme Gummy, similar aesthetics haven't aged well. Funhouse, theme-based design dates noticeably. Full space station celestial, high theme risk. The trends that tend to last are the ones rooted in actual design principles or cultural traditions, rather than just viral moments. That's not a guarantee. Design is ultimately personal, but it's a useful lens for making decisions. Your home, your choice. But now, you have more context for making it. Which of these trends surprised you? Which ones are you drawn to? Tell me in the comments. And if you want to see how these trends connect to the design principles that actually last, that video is on screen right now.